Hi guys, and welcome to Angling For You, and today I'm at the fantastic Torne Bank fisheries, and we're going to try a little bit of method feeder fishing. Now, it's something I haven't done in absolutely ages, and the only reason I'm doing it in this lovely hot weather is because we've got quite a shallow gap on the other side where I'm hoping to poach a few fish from. The baits that I'm going to use today, now you've seen me maybe recently, semi-recently, do a video on unboxing some of these baits, and they're called outcome baits. Now, I've had a little go, sneaky go, not today, before, with the green that I'm fishing with today for a paste, and it's been absolutely superb. It's not builder's paste, but it is absolutely superb. This one is special, commercial special carp green. Now, you can get all these from the website. We'll put the links in the description below. Nice easy tear off the top, and it is all sealed with a resealable bag. Now, we've also got some additional bits and bobs that we can put on the hook. Now, as you saw, we've got plenty of sort of dumbbell wafters and things like that. These are hybrids. So I've gone with these. They're Scopex. They're an 8mm. Now, I've been using an 8mm pellet, but I feel like they're similar colours and they've got that little sweet smell. So we are going to use those to start off with. If we need to go to hard pellet, we'll go to hard pellet. And then we've got pure additive pineapple to keep it nice and sweet. Bolio. Now, I'm not going to go nuts because we're trying a few methods today, so I'm only going to go with half a bag because I'll turn some of it probably into paste. Now, it is quite a light colour to start off with, and we are going to add a good old, goddamn, that's lovely, that, a little dab of that pineapple. Want it to be really sweet smelling, and then just normal, as always, pond water. Now, mixing with an open hand, fingers out, I try and combine it first. You can use riddles and stuff like that if that's what you want to do, and Dan's got a riddle, but oh man, if you could have smell-o-vision here for how pineapple this smells. Now, obviously I don't want this too wet because we're going to want it to come out the method, but equally we're going to let it absorb. So I mix it together, and then that's where we're just going to run it through his hands and break up some of those bigger bits that we've got. And again, if you want to run it through a riddle, be my guest. There'll be people here that's screaming in the comments, run it through a riddle. But, you know, it's fine. God, I swear to God, it smells like, if you're my age or older, pineapple cubes. That's just what it smells like. Straight pineapple cubes, guys. Smells amazing. Now, this is going to need some more water because I can feel it in my hands already. Yeah, it's still dry, but we're doing it bit by bit, and bit by bit means that we get the right consistency that we need, and we don't make it too wet. And we just want it to be tacky enough that it holds in the feeder, and it's shallow water there, so if it creates a cloud, the only bait that's going to be there is mine. And the texture, it is so smooth. It really is a smooth texture, and I swear to God, it just smells incredible. And that's a nice method texture. So we might have to adjust it a little bit if it's absorbed. I'm just going to leave it 5 minutes, but I would only be adding more water to that same texture, so I don't really need to show you that. It'll be that same texture when we finish with it. Just wash off my hands in there, and then we'll meet you on the box, and hopefully we'll be having a few casts. Right guys, we'll go through the things in a little bit more detail, but I am using the Horizon Nitro rod, and it's 10 foot, 5 pound Maxima, the old trusty, and using a 30 gram Preston inline feeder, the hybrid style. It's like glins into a decent fish down the end. And we're going to use one of these dumbbells. These, well, hybrids style, Scopex is what they are. We're going to get our pineapple cube smelling fantastic outcome baits, ground bait. If this doesn't catch anything, I'm going to jump in water, I swear to God. It's impossible. So we're just going to put a little tiny layer on the bottom, and I'll show you all this up close. A little bit more pressed on top, and then we're going to get final one. I'm going to press it in my hand just to get one final covering over it. Fish topping on the surface. This is what summer fishing's about, boys. Now we're fishing tight over the far bank, so fingers crossed we can get that where it needs to go. Boom shakalaka. Nice and tight to that far bank. Make sure, as always, the tip of the rod's under the water, we're sinking that line. And I use the Preston butt rest. I've used it for years now. I find it the best. It grips the bottom end of your rod. I'll show you again when we do in close that. And I use the Preston roost for the front. Again, I find that fantastic for the grip of the rod. I always have the back eye just before the rest so it can't pull it off forward, and then I use a matrix stationary non-flexible bar for my feeder arm. Now what I mean by that is some feeder arms you can tilt the rake on it, usually from where it attaches to the leg. This is just a 3D connection, so you can press a button and slide it in, and then you can move the top part. It's not on a till, it's just up and down where you can put your insert in, and obviously you don't have to have a Preston end. You could have a matrix end, a guru end, whatever you want. But already I can see some stirring around those reeds. Now I'm not going to leave this for more than 2 minutes to start. It's my first cast, there's no bait in there, apart from that which has gone already, which is what I expected. And the first fish is on. That takes no time at all. And as I thought from seeing that over there, it would be that there would be a few fish over there. And that bait, there was just no way that bait were not going to attract anything. It just smells too good. And it's only a small fish to start off. And it might be a small fish that we catch, but like it's a steady catch, isn't it, a fish. There we go, nice little mirror. And safely in the nets. What I will say, when you get the fish close to you, pull out a little bit of line to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. And he is soaking me to death, but absolutely fin perfect and soaking me. What are you doing, lad? Let's get him with a net, see if I can hold him a bit tighter. Hooked in the bottom lip. Sucked that in straight away and right in that bottom lip. Nearly got him. Wet hands. There we go. Hook that onto that. So first fish straight away. So there's an indication of how attractive that bait is. super smelling in that, with that sweet Scopex base in the bait, in the dumbbell, and then a super sweet pineapple flavoured green method mix carp. Nice, very nice. It's the texture as well, guys. Like, I get sent a lot of bait, as you know, or have done over the years, and some baits are better than others, and I will give you my genuine opinion, but the texture of this bait is absolutely fantastic. Like, it comes together so well. And when I used it as a paste at Moorfields with my daughter, it was even easy for her to control, which is obviously somebody that doesn't fish very often and that's, you know, not experienced in that. So give it a good old squeeze again. And we're aiming for that, hopefully that left hand corner. On the button, right next to the bank. Down goes the line, in goes into the rest, and that's that repetition is what you want for consistency. And if you're fishing big venues and it's predominantly this, that's when you can have a timer on. You can still have a timer on if you want for this. We're pleasure fishing, so we are going to eyeball roughly 2 minutes. We've got a watch on my hand, so I can see that that's 20 past, that's gone in. I'm going to gauge it, it's twitching already, there's going to be fish on it. If it hasn't gone in that 2 minutes, it's going to be coming back in another one, especially when we're early doors and we've not made any casts. And this is only a second cast. And these little nudges, we're not bothered about these nudges. These little dib dabbers, we want it to go round comfortably or confidently, or slack off if they're coming towards us. There we go. Try and steer it out of that reed. There we go. Bit of side strain on them. It's quite a powerful rod is this nitro. It can boogie when it needs to, and it's great through action as well. They pull hard, even these littler carp, they pull hard. There we go, safely in the net, and as always, a little bit of line out. Put your rod safe and out the way, and you can bring fish back. A bit more line. Still going absolutely ballistic inside that net. Another nice little common. There it goes. And it's now, guys, just about being consistent. If anybody knows the most frustrating thing in feeder fishing, when the line goes over the tip of the rod, always check that before you cast in, because I've seen people lose tips of rods and obviously plenty of whole rigs, but that's completely out. Just load up that feeder again. And again, we're going straight for that same place in that middle. Slightly right of that, but not too much. Nothing that's going to do damage. Sake. Dan. Wow, that went, guys, as soon as it hit the water. That one. As soon as it hit the water. Not a big fish at all. Unless it's not well caught, but now it's a baby. That's the baby. Couldn't resist the pineapple charm. Oh, he's hooked himself for me as well, which is great. Love that. Stay still, lad, and we'll get you back. What we'll do, guys, we'll have one more chuck, and then we'll have a little look at the rigging close. Let's get some more bait on. Dan, looks like Glyn's got a whale. I said, looks like Glyn's got a whale, he's got scales out. Right, guys, we'll have another little chuck. Hopefully we get a reaction as quick as what we did then. Perfect cast again, straight in that centre bit. Sink that line. There we go. And Dan's coming to give me an update on the what we're doing. They're doing it well on down edge, are they? Yeah, I've seen a mill in here that it's on my radar. I just want a few more off this line for the guys, including this one here. And then we're going to have a little look at the rig, Dan, and then we're going to hopefully have another couple, and then we might be some margin fishing for the guys on the camera, because it's absolutely crazy. And just to put this into perspective, guys, it is not even 11 o'clock. It is crazy, this venue. It really is. Absolutely crazy. And I mean, the fish that I'm catching over this side are not massive. I've had, as you've seen, one couple of pound. These are about a pound and a bit. But it's good quality fishing all the time, and they all, as you can see, fight hard whether they're a pound or not. And some of them throw your bait back at you as well. Oh well, so that just means we can get no one wants to see that. So what we need is another chuck. That just gives me before we look at the rig, gives me an excuse for another chuck. Probably put a little bit of too much pressure on it there, if I'm honest, but never mind. Let's get that back in. Plenty more fish out there. Plenty more fish out there. Let's get it back in and get this video shot, and then we'll start having a look, see if we've got some margins to play with. And again, on the number, sink that line, put the rod down, get straightened up, and wait for it to go round. Consistency, guys, that's what it is. Consistency. When you're fishing a method, well, when you're fishing with anything really, is consistency. And if you can get the fish going, if you can hit that same sort of area within 4 or 5 inches, you'll get more chance of getting a lot better sort of ratio of fish to casts. Another thing I will mention as well is you don't need to have that rod bent right round and tightened right round. That fish is going to take it. You just need the slightest bend, so if you get a drop, you can see that drop. Like there, look, there's a little drop there. I'm going to tighten up to that because that looked like a liner. But it doesn't need to be absolutely bent double like I do see sometimes. No need for that. Carp don't mess about. If one picks up bait properly, it's just gonna tear it round. And what I'm seeing at the moment is they're usually coming within the first 30 seconds, the bites. They tend to not have a bite or slows down after that. And what I think's happening is when it hits the water, they're coming in, they're sucking all the bait off it. And then once all the bait's gone, if they haven't taken your hook bait in that time, they don't tend to come back. Or if I waited a long amount of time, then they probably would come back. But that's what I mean by, you know, you need to be constant. Like, you can't just leave it. Not in summer. Like, there we go. That's a bite. But I were literally 10 seconds there of picking that up and reeling it in. And that's what I mean by having a time to what you're doing, because you can sit with no bites for ages if you wanted to, and there's no point in doing that. There's no point in doing that to yourself. Like, if you're busier, people come to relax fishing, of course they do, and I get that. But if you're a bit busier, you'll catch more fish. Excuse me. And that is hooked, boys and girls, as perfectly as it gets hooked, right in the top lip. And it's bloody soaking me to death, aren't you? Get hold of him. It's literally top button hooked, right on the top lip. Right, let's get him back. Let's get this camera changed around, and let's have a look at this rig in a little bit more detail. Let's get that wound in. And we'll get this camera changed around for you guys, and then we can have a little chat. Right guys, so rod and reel, let's start off. We've got the Horizon. This is a really good rod. I haven't used it much recently, but Nitro makes some great stuff, and this is one of it. It's a slightly more higher priced one in the bracket, but equally the other ones are just as good. And again, with a Horizon reel, I think it's about a 3000 spool. It's absolutely superb. Using a 5-pound Maxima, which, as you know, is my trusty. I've got a 30 gram banjo feeder, short stemmed, sliding in line onto a bead, 018 power line, a medium band, and a Q-curve MIDI hook. Nice and simple, nothing difficult around that. It's everybody has their own hooks and setups and everything for what they prefer. In regards to the bait, we got these little wafters here, like we showed you, the Scope X. Just going to band one of those bad boys on. And then the bait, all we're doing is scuttling a bit of bait in, putting in a rather large pellet or hybrid, covering it with the bait and giving it a fair old squeeze. Want it to be squeezed nice and tight, because we want it to be compact to get over there. Brush off the excess. We've got a nice looking clean feeder for us to pump it out there. Couple of turns on the reel, make sure you've got the right amount of drop. You want about 2.5 foot. Nice little throw, bosh on the spot, clipped up nicely. Make sure you're gently winding to make both these meet together on the top of the water from your line. So then we are all slack taken up. Make sure you're locked in your rest. And then, like I said before, a gentle tighten up. Just take up the tension so you can see a quick da-da and drop back off bite. Trust me, with carp bites, you do not need to have it bent round to, like if you're fishing a massive reservoir where you're fishing really far out, you might have more on it. That might be to do with the toe as well, but then you can get a really good indication of a back bite and you can still see a forward bite. But for commercial fishing, you don't need to. And as you can see with my rod, it's low to the water, and that again is essential. Low to the water. Today the wind's not bad, so it doesn't matter too much, but it's low down to the water. It's direct to the feeder. It's not up in the water. There's no toe particularly that you would have on a river where you tend to have it a little bit up that little liner there. Here you've got that, and you just be close to the, especially if it's windy, you want to be close to the water, and it's just an easy pick up and into the fish. No messing about with having it high set. You definitely don't want it high set up in the air, not unless you're on a river where the flow is going to affect how the tip moves, and especially if it's windy. If it's windy, I almost have the tip in the water to try and keep it as low as possible. And that cloud's really cleared out today. It was really overcast and a bit, I won't say it was drizzly, but it was the odd little spot, and now it's really cleared out. Right guys, into what could be the last one for this short video. And it just shows how dangerous a good quality attractive bait can be, and attractions are a real personal thing. A lot of people just like to go with the flavour of the bait or the natural flavour, and there's nothing wrong with that. I sort of flip between both. But this pineapple one, when it's sunny outside, the water's warm, it's a high attractive bait anyway, but then to add a bit of sweetness, additional sweetness, just makes them go absolutely nuts. There we go, is in the net. Nice and safe. And they still go absolutely nuts. No wonder I'm soaked today. I sat in these shorts. Hooked in the bottom lip perfectly. I daren't drop that in, if I'm honest, because if I do, friggin' lose my rod. Let's get that hooked on there. See if we can get him up. Show the cameras. This is the last fish of the video. And not again, like we said, we won't go in for big fish at this side. It's some weight building fish. Easy lad. As you can see, these are perfect weight building fish. You know, couple of pound at a go, £3 sometimes. They're just absolutely perfect. And again, another fantastic video and stunning place as always at Torne Bank. If you can get yourself around Doncaster Way, get yourself here. Outcome Baits, if you want to look for their stuff, it's on the links in the description below. Superb baits, they've got a plethora of stuff. Have a look at our unboxing videos as well. You get to see what stuff they've got in that, and plenty more stuff online as well. Thank you very much for watching. As always, thanks to Torne Bank again for letting us do the filming. If you want to join us on the Facebook group at Angling For You, or on the Instagram at Angling For You Official, that'd be superb. Like, share and subscribe if you can. Until the next time guys, thank you very much for watching, and tight lines.